Remember that movie where everyone was saying Adam Driver looked like Keanu Reeves ages after it was hip to compare them? I'm talking about 65. Well, it turns out it tanked at the box office big time in 2023. But guess what? It made a total comeback on Netflix, climbing all the way to the #1 spot. Now, it's got this whole cult following thing going on. And you know what that means? It's time to start chatting about a sequel. Adam Driver's 65, despite having space pilots and dinosaurs, totally bombed at the box office in 2023. They spent a hefty $45 million on it, but only made about $60.7 million worldwide. Crazy, right? But here's the twist. When it hit Netflix, it skyrocketed to #1 in the US top 10. Released back in March 2023, 65 is about a space pilot who crashes on a wild planet and has to battle dinosaurs to survive. You'd think with Driver and dinos it'd be a hit, but hey, you never know with movies. It looks like the critics might have been a bit rough on 65, and yeah, it didn't quite make the splash at the box office they were hoping for. But it turns out that a Driver facing off against dinosaurs is a hit after all. Once it landed on Netflix, it shot straight to the top spot in the US. It even outshone big hitters like The Outlaws, the timeless Titanic, and the gripping The Tutor starring Noah Schnapp. Who would have thought, right? Sometimes home streaming really knows how to turn things around. With a disappointing worldwide gross of just $60 million, 65 turned out to be a risky move for a theatrical release when it premiered in March 2023. It seemed like audiences weren't too enthusiastic about the idea of Adam Driver taking on dinosaurs on an ancient Earth. Adding to the confusion, the movie's marketing made it look like a time travel flick, leading to some mixed expectations among viewers. Driver himself clarified during an appearance on Jimmy Fallon's show that there's no time travel involved. Instead, it's about characters finding themselves stranded on a prehistoric Earth in a parallel universe. Despite its rough run in theaters, 65 stands a good chance of finding a new life as a cult favorite on streaming platforms. Its quirky subject matter is just offbeat enough to draw in viewers seeking something unconventional for their Netflix nights. And let's face it, dinosaurs have always a certain appeal in cult movies. The only thing potentially holding back 65 from fully embracing cult status is its serious tone. If it had leaned a bit more into lightheartedness and campiness, it might have had an even better shot. Still, it's already gaining traction on Netflix, which suggests it could surpass expectations in its streaming afterlife, maybe even setting the stage for a successful sequel. Now, if 65 Part 2 is made, they'll need to answer some questions. First, why isn't there socialized medicine in 65? 65 raises some interesting questions about the society depicted on Mills' planet. Despite advancements like cryostasis chambers and futuristic technology, there's still a lack of socialized medicine. Science fiction often imagines a future where basic human needs are met, similar to the world depicted in Star Trek. So it's puzzling why Mills' planet doesn't have some form of socialized medicine. Despite having advanced cryostasis chambers, which are a common sci-fi element, they can't save his daughter from dying. Even though the setting is millions of years in the past on Earth, it's unclear why Mills has to undertake long missions just to afford his daughter's medical care. Perhaps 65 aims to critique the pitfalls of a capitalist society, or there's more to the story explaining why a civilization with advanced technology allows its citizens to suffer due to lack of health care. The nature of his daughter's illness is vague, leaving open the possibility that there's simply no cure. However, considering the discussions Mills has with his wife about the financial burden of his missions, it seems he held out hope for a solution. It's also puzzling why his daughter couldn't have been put into stasis to prevent her condition from worsening. Another question is, how different are Koa and Mills' species from humans? 65 received a low Rotten Tomatoes score, possibly due to some odd creative choices by the writers and director. One of these decisions was to depict Mills and Koa as a different species, despite their human-like appearance. It seems like a missed opportunity for the prop department to give them subtle physical distinctions, akin to what's done in the Star Trek franchise, to make them stand out more. This raises questions about how different their species actually is from humans. One reason for this creative choice could be to emphasize that Mills and Koa are not from Earth, which would make the prehistoric setting feel more like an alien world, increasing the sense of danger. If they were humans, the story would lean more towards time travel, and their familiarity with dinosaurs from school or pop culture would diminish the tension. However, 65 doesn't delve into the specifics of what sets Mills' species apart from humans. Adding a bit of extra dialogue about their ability to thrive in an environment with 30% atmospheric oxygen, for example, could have provided some clarity. Also, why do these dinosaurs look so weird in 65? The trailers for 65 didn't give a clear look at the dinosaur designs, and the film itself doesn't feature too many of them, which adds to the suspense. However, there are some puzzling aspects to the dinosaur portrayal. For instance, some of the dinosaurs are depicted in ways that aren't scientifically accurate, like turning theropods into quadrupeds. It seems like historical accuracy wasn't a top priority during production, though the reasons behind these aesthetic choices remain unclear. While other dinosaur movies strive to keep their designs aligned with current scientific knowledge, 65 does incorporate one aspect from the Jurassic World series by adding feathers to some of the creatures. However, overall, the dinosaurs often come across more like aliens, which doesn't quite fit with the storyline. Even for a mid-budget film, 65 should have aimed for better adherence to modern dinosaur design, rather than creating creatures that resemble something from a sci-fi movie of a bygone era. Another question, where will Mills and Koa travel to next? In 65, Mills and Koa face a race against time to reach an escape pod before a catastrophic meteor strike wipes out everything on Earth, including the dinosaurs. Miraculously, they manage to launch into space just in time, aiming for a rendezvous with a rescue ship. However, as they embark on this uncertain journey, the movie abruptly ends, leaving Mills and Koa facing the unknown but grateful to be alive. The future for Mills and Koa is uncertain, especially considering the movie's disappointing box office performance. However, there are several ways their adventure could continue. The escape pod might encounter malfunctions, or complications could arise with the rescue ship, leading them to seek alternative solutions for survival. Additionally, unforeseen threats, like the giant insect that infiltrated Koa's sleep, could pose new challenges, perhaps forcing them into an emergency landing. Despite Koa's parents likely being deceased, Mills may have a desire to reunite with his wife, adding further unresolved plot points to their journey. With this out of the way, let's discuss if there will be a 65 sequel. It's uncertain whether 65 will see a sequel, given its unfavorable Rotten Tomatoes score and mixed reviews, suggesting it might remain a standalone movie. This is unfortunate, as Adam Driver delivers a compelling and physically demanding performance as Commander Mills, complemented by strong acting from the rest of the cast, including Ariana Greenblatt, Chloe Coleman, and Nika King. Should a sequel materialize, there's ample opportunity for deeper world-building, particularly regarding Mills' species, and the possibility of him and his wife adopting Koa upon their return home. However, if 65 doesn't receive a sequel, the fate of Mills and Koa remain unresolved, which may be fitting in its own way. Amidst a landscape dominated by sequels and blockbuster franchises, 65 took a risk as a smaller, mid-budget sci-fi film, a rarity in today's cinema. While it may not have realized all its ambitious ideas, it offers an original narrative ripe for further exploration. While it may not ascend to the level of becoming a franchise like Star Wars, 65 is still engaging and sparks the imagination with its potential for more. Well, that's it. For now, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to get updated regularly with the latest news and reviews on upcoming movies from us. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.